So, already, so I started recording that, and this particular interview, it's 133. It's episode number 133 on this beautiful Zero Point Healing show. So, welcome. Thank you so much for all your support. And it has been such an amazing ride for me to come through these beautiful interview shows that I've been conducting, I guess, for more than a year now. So, thank you, first of all dear viewers, for supporting us. And in this interview, I have an amazing guest with me, and I was talking about this kind of a beautiful modality that they have kind of put together. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing how much, I guess, all of these beautiful holistic healing modalities are creating so much change. Um, in the human race, that I'm completely in bliss looking at so much magic and miracles that's being created. And we were just, with my guest today, I was just talking about, how these days, without medications, we are able to heal so many different conditions and health conditions, and not just health conditions. I guess that's one of the other beautiful thing about holistic healing modality. It's not just health issues that you can resolve, but emotional issues and financial issues. And my personal specialization is on money consciousness. So I've been doing so much work on that direction as well, which I guess a hospital or any kind of medication wouldn't be able to solve, let's say, financial issues, right? So, yes, that's what this journey is all about. And to tell you just a little bit about me, I'm Vishnupriya. I'm a holistic healing practitioner too, on very different kind of 6 different modalities. And through that journey of getting certified in these different modalities, I was like, wow, this world is so amazing. This holistic healing world that has created for me personally in my life, it literally has transformed upside down on all areas of my life. So I was like, what can I do to kind of take this beautiful world into, and give it to all people out there? So that's how this entire zeropointhealing.com got created. It's a web directory that I've created for all holistic healing practitioners of all different holistic healing modalities. So if you are a holistic healing practitioner yourself, you're welcome to zeropointhealing.com. You can register for free, you can create your profile, and if you're interested in this kind of interview with me, you can let me know that as well. Alrighty, so now I'm moving on to my beautiful guest here. Welcome, Bani. Thank you so much for being with me on this beautiful show. It's so exciting to kind of invite you in. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into this holistic healing world.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for inviting me and allowing me to be on your Zero Point Healing show. Incredible opportunity. How I got started is, as we all do, we're looking for something to help ourselves and to heal and be a better version of ourselves. So I was doing a lot of different modalities, and sound frequencies really resonated with me. So that is something that I gravitated towards. And it started, I was in the hair industry for 29 plus years. And I think over the years of listening to stories and different things that people were faced with challenges with emotional health issues, pain, that I just felt that I was being called to do something different. And so a couple of years ago, even though I've been doing this since 2013, the healing, I was doing hair as well. And 2 years ago, I broke away from the beauty industry, and I've been solely doing the energy sound frequency therapy to be able to help people heal or become beautiful on the inside as well on the outside. So that was a big thing for me, is to be able to help them in a different way. So I've always been able to take care of their looks on the outside, but now I can help people feel better on the inside and change their life.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So now let's jump into the beautiful topic that you've brought in for today, which is the energy sound frequency therapy. So, can you first maybe tell us a little bit about how this beautiful therapy works?
Yep. So I'll walk you through a typical process when somebody comes in to receive a session. They can either come in person or remotely. So we're all energetic human beings and we're all connected in the universe. So it doesn't matter if they're in person or remotely. Some people prefer an in person session, they still like that connectness with the practitioner, to be able to talk to them in person. And I love that too. I love in-person sessions because you do get to talk with the people a little bit more one-on-one, and it's beautiful because I think in this world today we have lost that connective, that one-on-one healing. And so I really do enjoy in-person sessions, but if somebody isn't able to get in, and need a session, they can do it remotely as well. So a typical in-person session, people would come in and we'll have some little bit of paperwork for them to fill out. And then after that, we'll have a conversation, a little consultation with them. They can share as much as they want or as little as they want. They don't need to divulge all this information because we're not the traditional talk therapy. So people don't need to share everything. If they don't want to, they don't have to. We allow them to share whatever they're comfortable with. So their body knows what needs to be done. So we just have to listen to it. So when they would lay down on the massage table, we're going to do some kinesiology, which is a form of muscle testing. So we're going to be only working with their one arm to be able to get answers needed to be able to release the trapped emotions that they have inside of them. So we have developed some emotions that are on frequency cards to make it a little bit easier of a process for people to understand. So these cards will all have words and frequencies on them. So it could be anger, anxiety, frustration, fear, guilt, worry. We've got like over 200 different negative emotions that we can test the body for. And then what we do through muscle testing is we'll go through each one of those cards and place them on them. Their subconscious energy will read what's on the cards. And what we do is we'll get down to about maybe 4 or 5 different emotions. It could be anxiety and maybe worry and fear that show up. Then we need to find out what's priority to be released today. Their body will tell us what needs to be released first because we're like an onion and we have many layers to us. And we have to allow the body to release a layer when it's needed, not to go in and say, well, because I think we're going to take care of this one. It really has nothing to do with us. We have to keep our intentions out of it. We have to just, listen to the body and allow that to happen. So if somebody has a particular emotion, maybe it's anxiety and worry, and anxiety is a little bit of every emotion underneath a title called anxiety. So it could be worry, fear, anger, frustration, but maybe worry is the main thing that they're having issues with. So we'll let them know once we get it down to that much. We'll say, worry is the emotion that we're going to release first. So is there something that you worry about? And they'll say yes, they know. And I'll say, okay, all I need you to do now is think of something that you worry about. So they can take a moment. I don't need to know what the thought is. They just need to think about whatever it is that they're worrying about. And then I take it from there. I capture that thought, and then I can tell them to stop thinking. After they're stopped thinking, then I have a set of vials that will tell us when I touch the vials, their body will respond to the location of where that worry is stored in their body. So once I figure out where it's stored, then I'll go to the frequencies. We have about 16 different frequencies. And then I'll find out what frequency is needed to be able to release and shatter that emotion so it's no longer within them. After that, then I'll ask the body how long this session is going to be. The body will tell us exactly down to the minute of what it's going to take for the sound to be applied to them directly to their body and for it to shatter the emotion. People may feel tingling during the session. They may feel some light muscle twitching. Some people just drift off to sleep. So you can sleep during the whole session. So it does go by rather quickly. And it's like having a nap, a massage, and releasing emotions all at the same time. So the whole process takes about 2 hours. So we tell people to allow this time for self-care. Take this time for yourself to be able to release whatever is trapped inside of you so that you are no longer affected by these emotions. So what I mean by that is when they're done with the session, I'll have them go back to that thought. And they'll be like, and I'll ask them, can you tell me how it feels or appears different now when you think about it than when it felt before? And they'll go, well, it doesn't feel so intense, or I'm not getting anxious about it, or whatever it is. And they go, how come it doesn't make me feel, like I'm really worried anymore? It's because we had to shatter that emotion. When you break the link from the thought you think and the emotion that you feel, when you think about the thought, you're not going to feel that worry anymore. And it'll be completely released. And it's such a relief for people to know that now they're in control of how they feel. They're not allowing their emotions to control their life. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing when people understand the impact of what this can do, because it's going to make them, be able to respond versus react. So they're going to respond instead of getting all panicky and worry and all that kind of stuff. They'll be able to just go, yeah, okay, let's take care of it. They're going to be clear thinking. They're not going to be so scattered. And it's beautiful when that takes place.
Wow, that is so amazing. And I really love the opportunity to also do it in the remote, right? So maybe through online, because I know these days people, especially with holistic healing, I guess what we are seeing is people from all over the world being able to access all of these beautiful modalities through online. So it's like a huge, wide opportunity all around the world for all of us, I guess. Beautiful. So let's say if a particular client wants to book a session with you, is there maybe a consultation or kind of how does the process look like and what they can expect after they kind of book sessions with you?
Okay, for like a remote session? So,
Yes.
okay, so for a remote session, really similar to coming in person, what I usually do is I will either set up a FaceTime call with you or a Zoom call with you, just to go over what the session is going to be about. If somebody has had in-person sessions and they want a remote session, they already kind of know. I just have to remind them of different things, like make sure you disconnect from your cell phone. Don't be on a computer. You just want to take this time, just disconnect from everything, lay down, maybe play some soft music in the background. You just have to lay down and relax. I will actually, let's say somebody has not ever had an in-person session. So what I'll do is I will chat with them a little bit, ask them what's going on. They'll share a little bit. Maybe they're getting irritable and they're, frustrated and they just want to calm down their anxiety. Maybe it's relationships issues where, their spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, they're at each other and it's just tense. So I'm like, okay, not a problem. So it gives me a general direction to go in because there's so many different emotions. If they want to work on something specific, I can actually go to that specific thing. What is creating that irritability in your relationship? Is it anger? Is it, do you have a hot temper? Do you have some anxiety or panic issues every time they leave the house, or maybe when they're with each other, their energy is, you're not on the same frequency. And we have to put people, balance them out, put them back on the same frequency so they can get along. So if we're doing a remote session, let's just talk about the relationship part of it. And if I have somebody that calls in and they say, I'm just irritable, my husband is driving me crazy, or my wife is driving me crazy with everything that she's doing. And I was really like, okay, so I will check to find out what emotion it is that we're going to work on. I will release, do the session as if they were in person. So once we figure out what we're going to work on, then I'll tell them, I just want you to shut your phone off or shut your computer down, whatever it is, maybe we're Zoom call, set your phone off to the side. Once I figure out what it is that we're going to work on and how long the session is going to be, I will actually text them just so they know, because people will otherwise think about, how long am I going to be laying here? Am I going to be laying here for an hour and 15 minutes? So I'll let them know when their session is going to be completed. So that way they can put their phone down and just relax. Otherwise, they're trying to figure it out, and I don't want that. So once that takes place, then the session will go on as if they were in person. So I have an image of a body, and I'm going to place the speakers on the image as if they were in person. Because I have their permission, I'm already connecting with their energy from afar. I'm going to pretend that this image is them. So the speakers are going to be placed right on the image as if they were in person. So it might be on their heart, it might be on, their ears, it could be on their throat, wherever. I'll place the speakers on there. I'll get the sound started that's needed for their particular issue and their body. And then they just have to relax. After the session is completed, I will touch base with them again, let them know that their session is done. Now, the cool thing about it is I like a little bit of verification. So I'll ask them, how do you feel? Or what did you feel during the session? And I had a particular client who the speakers actually ended up being around their head. And they had told me, they said, it was really weird. I had all this tingling in my face. And that's because that's where the sound frequency was. And they had no idea. So that's just validation for myself to know how connected we are. So once people have that experience, they're just like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to feel anything. But then when they did, they're just like, this is so cool. I want to have another one, or whatever the case may be. But now what takes place with when you're working on a relationship, after you're done, they will actually be coming from a place of more calmness. So the things that used to irritate them about their spouse or significant other is no longer irritating anymore. And they go, how come I'm not mad at them anymore? Because you're on another frequency now. You're on a frequency of more acceptance and love and patience, and you're not on that frequency of being irritable and angry and frustrated with them. And they in turn will feel it as well. So when somebody comes in for a session, when we change their frequency within them, they will feel different to the people that used to frustrate them. They'll feel different to everybody. And people will be like, you've got such a calmness about you. You've got such a wonderful energy, because that's the frequency that they're feeling. They're feeling this just wonderful energy, high frequency, and everything is wonderful with them. And that's what they're feeling, and they want it. They're just like, I want to have the same energy you have, So it works wonderful for so many different aspects, whether, it's anxiety or depression. If you're dealing with depression, you don't You just have that low vibrational frequency and you just feel stuck, like you can't do anything. When you release that depression, your frequency rises. And then all of a sudden you're just like, wow, I feel so much lighter. I feel happier. And it's because we had to lift that heaviness of that depression or melancholy or whatever it is that they were feeling, raise that vibrational frequency in their body so that they can feel, alive again, that they feel like they got energy and they're excited about life again. So that there's so many stories.
Absolutely. I guess that's exactly what was I was about to ask as well. Do you want to share any kind of specific client story of, especially since the topic is about anxiety and depression, is there any kind of story you want to share about a specific client?
Um, yes, I am actually, I think relationships right now, since the pandemic, people were stuck together in a
Mm.
household for a long time and they were getting at each other's nerves. And so I'm going to talk about relationships, partly because we need to know how to get along. We need to know how to stay on a good frequency so we're not struggling and having anxiety and panic. So I had a guy who actually he came in an in-person session, and his wife is the one that sent him in. So she was like, you need to go in, or they had been married for many, many years, or she's like, I'm just done. I'm done with all of this anger that you have. I'm just done. So she's like, you need to go in so that you can be happy again. And the thing is, he didn't realize how unhappy he was. It just became a new norm for him. So he came in and he literally did not say a word to me. I think he was so mad that he was there, that he had to come. So no problem, come on in. And he filled out his paperwork. And what had actually showed up on him was aggression. And so it was really, really strong inside of him. And without him even sharing anything with me, I just told him, can you think of something that makes you angry? And he goes, yep. And I was like, all right. So I just want you to think about it and then I'll take it from there. And what happened afterwards was amazing, even for me to see what took place. When he got done with his session, I asked him, I was like, how do you feel? And he popped right up off the table and he's like, I feel great. I think I'm going to go home and get my wife and we're going to go out to eat. And I was just like, what just took place here? I was even astonished myself, which I've seen a lot of great things happen, but that was beyond. So I literally had to text his wife and say, he's different. You are going to absolutely love this, blah, blah, blah. So she couldn't believe it. She was so thankful and so grateful. And she said, you gave me my husband back, because he didn't realize how bad it was. And it took him coming in, and he's coming again before, for another time, this time wanting to come in to really work on himself. And that's just, it's beautiful when those things take place. And, we have a lot of great testimonials on our website, a lot of great reviews from any kind of issue somebody may be experiencing. Depression is another huge issue right now with it, especially, it always has been, but people need options. They need to know that there's more than just a pill out there. They need to know that they can get better, that it's not going to take a long time. And that's another important thing that I'll mention too, is it's not going to take months or weeks or years to be able to get rid of the issue. We have had people come in one time and go, I feel amazing. I'll let you know when I need to come back in. Perfect. Listen to your body. Your body speaks to you every day, and it speaks to you in a way of, some people will experience pain. Some people will, just be crying. It doesn't matter. Your body's speaking to you and it's telling you to listen. You need to do something. So anytime you're feeling an emotion or feeling pain or are struggling, even with, with money issues, fear is a lot of times attached to that, because they have a fear of not having enough money to survive the rest of their life. And it's such a big issue for people that you need to get rid of that fear, because the fear is what's keeping you stuck. And the fear is not allowing you to break through and realize that, abundance is going to come to you in many, many ways. So you just have to allow it. You have to get rid of all these emotions that are creating so many things in your life, and know that if you really want money to come to you, or if you want to feel better, or if you want to be healthy, it is going to happen. You first have to want it, and then it will happen. And it's huge.
Wow, beautiful. And yes, I totally agree, with, of course, as I said, my personal work is in this direction of money, and spreading that money consciousness is the kind of work that I'm personally doing as well. I guess, regardless of which area of life it is, it's these trapped emotions and so much that's going within energetically, and releasing and working with my own energy has given me incredible results. And I come from a lot of MBA and engineering background and all of that, so I clearly know that even more than my MBA, I guess it's my energy work that has made me money, for example. So absolutely. And my dear viewers, here, for those of you who want to book a session with Vani, here you can go ahead and click the link right below this video. It'll take you to her profile, which consists of all her information, and you can have a quick chat with her. And are you also giving a consultation, kind of, for those of them who want to do online? Is there a chat or a kind of consultation that you're providing, Money?
Yep. Yes. So if you want to, even if you want a 15-minute, half-hour consultation, consultations are always free. We're more than happy to talk with you, explain the process, help you understand. And I'm just going to mention one more thing, if I can. If you want to get into the field of healing, we are actually developing an online course that will be coming out next month, hopefully, fingers crossed. But so we really do welcome anybody who wants to be able to help others to join our team of people and really expand this throughout the world, which I think will
Wow.
be wonderful.
Wow, congratulations, and thank you for bringing out these beautiful creations that you're creating. And yes, my dear viewers, you also have an additional 10% off discount coupon code, which is 0 Point. So if you want to book your first session with Bunny, you can let her know that you found her from 0 Point Healing, and she will give you that 10% off on your first booking as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Bunny. That was such wealth of information that you have shared with us. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. Alrighty, my dear beautiful beings, I'm gonna see you on my next show. And thank you so much for all your support. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also subscribe to the channel to access all of these beautiful interviews that we are creating for you. Also, you can share this video if there are any family members, friends, that would be going through anxiety, depression, especially at this point in time in our worlds. I guess there's so much of anxiety, depression, fear that's going around. So I guess Pani is an amazing, with her beautiful tools, I guess she will be able to help a lot of people. So please do share this video with anybody whom you think is gonna be helped with this video. Thank you. I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you, Bani. Then bye bye.
Bye bye.